Welcome in, everybody, to episode 287 of the Budhole.
Or now I can just... Nice job, high forward.
One shot, one kill. Ronnie did.
Now introducing your Budhole podcast, Scott, the Great Brandino, Gage's Rage, and Star Lamar.
What's up, girl?
I love the Budhole.
Who doesn't love the Budhole? Welcome, everybody. We are live. We are local. We're on demand. We're off demand. And we're mostly demanded. I just made
Who's
that up.
demand?
Like
Lucky
demand, like supply and demand.
Oh,
think-
My
Isn't
fucking
there
weight's inflating
there
too. Like
and DeRozan,
what?
DeMar
demand,
DeRozan,
man.
Demand
Yeah.
DeRozan.
Demand Rosen.
Scott's coming in
Welcome,
hot
everybody.
here, just like Enos Cantor is, and we are ready to talk some fantasy football.
Well, I'm fired up, you guys. I'm fired up because I got a big matchup tonight. The Rams are playing the Niners, and I need a W. I got Matthew Stafford, Matt, not heterosexual, and the LA Rams DST going tonight. And I think 28.21 points out of those three. Is it going to happen?
One thing I'm concerned about for you, Scott, you have a lot of Matts you're depending on. Depending on a person named Matt, has that ever worked out for you in the past?
No. And honestly, this whole season for me, close matchups have not gone my way, so I'm quite nervous.
I played Stafford, so I was playing in our yearly league last week. I was playing Luwop. He had Stafford, he had Cooper Kupp, and he had one more guy going into it. And he ended up beating me. Well, he was up 8 points, and I had Darnell Mooney the next night. But Stafford put up a dud last week, which is the only reason I was still in that game.
I don't think he's going to do it twice. Matthew Stafford's a legitimate shot at MVP this season. I think he's going to ball out tonight.
He lost Robert Woods.
That
Yes,
could
he
matter.
did. Last week, Matthew Stafford scored 12.9 points. That was his lowest scoring point total of the season.
Gage, is that bad?
It ain't good.
Gage and I were talking earlier about what's good and bad. We're just coming to conclusions here. That's bad.
I would actually say, I don't know. I would actually say 12.9 isn't like bad, but it's not good. It's very, very subpar. Bad to me is like less than 9 points for a quarterback.
If you're talking about like a top end quarterback though, like if the quarterback won unanimously across the entire league, less than 15 is bad.
But like for Stafford, you drafted him at the end of a draft. For him to get you 12.9, you still got some heavy hitters on your team.
You hope.
That's my opinion. Or you should have heavy hitters.
Well, let's say you took a guy probably top 5 at his position, and he's put up 5 games under 15 points over the whole year so far. Are you happy with that?
Who are we talking about?
It's just a guy that you maybe drafted top 5.
Top 5. Let's see.
He may
number
play in
one.
California for a team called Los Angeles Chargers. Possibly. Don't know.
Oh, hey, what?
5 games for Justin Herbert under 15 points.
Oh, I was so confused. I was like, I didn't draft anybody top 5.
This was strictly hypothetical, except reality for Gage.
For one, I didn't
Yeah.
draft him this year. I drafted him a long time ago.
You drafted him in yearly league this year.
Yeah, I guess I did do that.
Guilty. Anyways, everybody, welcome in. Hope you won your fantasy matchups this week. My fantasy matchups are overall looking pretty well. I'm surviving in my final guillotine league that's ran by my wife, but I'm claiming it because it's all I have anymore. And like I said, I got a big matchup tonight.
Yeah, I'm 2 for 2 in the choppers, not getting chopped this week. That's a good feeling.
Well, 2 for 2 in the ones you're in still.
That's why I said this week I'm 2 for 2 and not getting chopped.
All right, bud.
Where's Brandon standing in the
last
other?
Or
Where's Brandon stand in the other Budhole league? Is he doing well this week in the guillotine league?
I'm not getting shocked. We'll put it that way. Doing well is a whole different conversation. I was saved by the Chiefs' dominance last night, to be honest.
Here, let's pull a banner up here while we talk and break this down a little bit because this should be broken down. Where the hell is the shock fantasy thing?
It's been a few weeks for us since we've been, here.
Anyways, everybody go on over to Shock Fantasy, sign up for Matt Harrison's fantasy
That ticker
spreadsheets for the year, and use promo code Budhole when you sign up for a yearly membership, and you'll get an entire year of Shock Fantasy for 69 cents a day.
Nice.
69.
Nice.
That's over at Shock Fantasy, shockfantasy.com. If you use them the rest of the season and you make it into the playoffs, you'll probably win your championship. And if you use them also for DFS, you'll probably win some more money. So go do that. With that being said, though, Brandon, where do your Guillotine League owners that are still alive, where do they all stand for money? Because this is very interesting at this point in the season.
Where they're at for money, let me pull it up on my computer quick. I can't get it on my phone for whatever reason. But I know I did not do super hot this week, and I was nervous of a chop until I did have Kelsey, Hill, and Waller all going in the night game, and they put up a lot of points for me. So I'm safe. I'm at 92 points, and the lowest guy is 82 with no guys left. So I'm all right there, but yeah, it's I need to get some playmakers. So looking at Fab. Total Fab.
What's up, Star?
Star
up?
Lamar,
Can you hear me?
baby. We can hear you.
Loud and clear.
All right. Trying to figure this shit out here.
Best looking one out of the bunch, man.
Just for a little bit of an idea here, the most Fab remaining and the one that Gage's Rage and I are still in is, was Shrimp Dicks, who's getting cut this week. So I will be the remaining team. By me, I mean my wife, but like I said, I'm claiming this team now. I'll have the most Fab at 397, and there's 3 teams that have 2 or less dollars left. So this is when you're going to be able to get some really good players for less than $50.
Where am I finding this information? I don't know.
If you just go onto the tab and you go to league at the top, click league, it's right by my teams. It'll show remaining Fab on the standings.
So in the league, we're both
standings page.
Shanny has got $595. He's top dog.
Oh shit, dude! I'm way farther in this than I thought.
And then Willow Balls 358, 370, 270, 200, 200. So Shanny's a couple $100 ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, Shanny's got some room to make some moves. He's got 600. I'm at 205. So I'm bottom 4, but the other guys below me are all below 75. So
you guys still have some money out there then.
Yeah, some money to spend. I spent a few bucks on Nyheim Hines because what I did was I spent a lot of money to go out and get Travis Kelce and Kareem Hunt. And then Kareem Hunt goes down for 4 weeks. Oh, Star, it's my first time seeing you on the stream. Looking good, bud.
Hey, thanks.
I was on another tab. I haven't seen you in like 2.5, 3 weeks, so it's been a long time. But yeah, I'm hoping that some people spend some money because, get a few things out there, have a couple bad weeks, and give me a fucking chance because I'm struggling at running back, guys.
Can we talk about something important for a second?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have
Let's
a
segue to
fighting
Star.
chance in yearly league tonight.
What?
What does Star need for a miracle?
Dude, I didn't think I was going to win another game. This is pretty
I didn't
impressive.
either.
I don't know who I'm playing, but as long as Deebo Samuel doesn't do Deebo Samuel things, I think I have a shot.
So he's got Debo, Elijah, and Matt heterosexual, not heterosexual, and he's got 61 points. Star's got 99. So combine 40 points out of those guys. Do you think it happens?
Hope it
That's
doesn't.
gonna be dicey. You got a reason to watch, that's for sure.
You're gonna sweat the whole game out.
It's gonna be close, man.
I mean, Von Miller's playing. Hopefully, Jalen can lock him down. We'll see what happens, but I need that. I'm sitting in last place.
Now,
points for down there. It's been sad. I almost don't even like looking at the league anymore. But I noticed yesterday, kept telling me I was getting those notifications sent in. Your team scored. Your team scored. I almost broke 100. It's been my first time breaking 60. I feel like in weeks.
it's a good feeling.
It is. I'm fucking gunning for the first spot now.
Now you're
in
fighting.
the thick of it, my man. You got a shot.
The thing is, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams at 4 and 5, and 2 teams at 3 and 6, including yourself. So a win could possibly put you into 8th place.
Mm-hmm.
So if you beat Joe, Joe's going to drop. Josh did win, so he's going to stay ahead of you. Paul, I think, lost, didn't he? Yeah, Paul got.
I pay zero attention to this league.
Yeah, you do have
no idea what's going on, but everyone should be praying that I make it into the playoffs because that's basically a bye week.
I'm praying that you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's more fun when the entire butthole is in the playoffs. Because then there's a chance with that we might play each other. We'd have a 50% chance, if my math checks out, which I know it doesn't, of playing each other. Or we could potentially all move to the next round, in which case it would be a butthole finals.
God,
it would be sweet.
That would.
You know how sick that'd be if in our friends league it was just us 4 in the quarterfinal or the semifinals? And it's like, fuck, one of us are going to win. You guys all suck. Next year it should just be us versus the field.
What are the odds that the Rams defense scores 30 points?
0. Well, there's a chance. 1. This is the thing. The 49ers aren't playing very good. I haven't watched 49ers football this year, but is Garoppolo just really bad?
Yeah.
So there's a chance he could throw 3 or 4 picks.
Pick sixes?
And just 3 or 4 picks. It would have to be 3 or 4 picks with 1 or 2 pick sixes. 1 for sure.
Rams get 30 points, I win fantasy, so I'm rooting for it.
I'm rooting for it too, because if the Rams get 30, then it won't be a close matchup in my league, in my Empire League, which means I'll win. Because if it's close, I'll lose.
So right now in the standings, that is second in yearly. I'm third. Gage is fourth. The guy who is in first place, which is sad to even admit that he's in first place because he auto-drafted and he doesn't pay attention to his team.
But he didn't even break 50 this week.
No, but here's the thing. The guy he's playing scored 73. So if Matt actually cared and actually wanted to put in an effort, he could drop Joe Burrow. He could pick up Jimmy Garoppolo, have Garoppolo, and it's a little contradictory, but the Rams, the thing is, anytime Garoppolo would throw an interception, it would just negate out. So you'd be hoping for fumbles and sacks and defensive touchdowns. And he's got a kicker on a bye right now. So in theory, he could 49ers kicker, who I'm sure is a free agent, Jimmy Garoppolo, and have the Rams defense and have a chance at scoring 29 points this week to win. But he's not going to. So I'm going to be in first place, which is fucking great.
I'm going to do my commissioner thing and just change his roster for him.
As competitive as our fantasy football leagues are, I think the real NFL is also super tight in standings wise.
Point like a
There's NFC is a little bit more dominated. I mean, the top dogs are kind of leading by a little bit, but then you're looking at those with the third extra wild card spot. There's a lot of
team is going to make it.
That are going to make the playoffs.
I mean, you look at Carolina yesterday, and you got to think that they could be gunning for it.
They are in 7th spot right now, aren't they?
I think they took it over from Atlanta yesterday.
Atlanta was in it?
Atlanta was holding the 7th spot prior to yesterday.
Atlanta is only 4-5.
They are now.
They were 4-4, yeah.
We're talking about, the Saints being in there at 5-4.
With Trevor Siemian at quarterback, who knows if they fall off?
We're just a game out at 4-5 or Vikings.
I don't think the Saints are going to hold strong. They just don't have enough at quarterback to maintain.
Yeah, it's the Bears,
flipping Eagles,
the Niners, the Eagles. There's a lot of, subpar teams that are going to be fighting for that last spot, including the Vikings, hopefully.
This is the question, though. With the NFL moving to 7 teams in the playoffs, I don't think it really ends up making it more fun. The team that gets in the 7th spot is not a good football team, or it hasn't been since this whole thing started with 7 teams being available to be in.
Well, we're 1 year into it, right? So not a large sample.
How many times did the Giants slip in there in the 6th seed and dominate the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
At least twice.
So, I mean, stuff.
Neither of them were dominate. They won, but they didn't dominate them.
The Packers won? Were they a 6th seed in 2011?
The Packers were a 6th seed.
I don't think were the Ravens in 2012.
The Ravens were not a 6th seed. The Ravens were a wild card team, though. I think they were the 5th seed.
And you look
some purple and gold?
Yeah.
It was actually a good fucking game, so I do want to talk about them.
Go.
The weather must be fair over there in Ramsey County.
It's not fair. I'm not the fair weather fan. That's somewhere else. But
Baltimore was the 4.
Oh, okay.
What I was most excited about, and I think I texted you guys this in the group chat, the fucking team that actually decided to play to win, not play to not lose, was very exciting to see. Because it just had that feeling in the 4th quarter when we had, 3rd and 3 on our own, 30-yard line, when we go with the play action bomb to Justin Jefferson. If we don't get that fucking play, you just know the Chargers are going to get the ball, they're going to score, and they were going to go for 2 to win the fucking game. They weren't going to try and take it to overtime, and to just take the game out of their hands like that. That was really exciting and refreshing for a team that hasn't done that in a long time.
That was un-Zimmer-like is what it was. Zimmer's feeling the pressure.
I think last week, was it Andre Patterson, I think, came out and said, we need to play to win, not to play, not to lose. And we came out and we played to lose last week, in my opinion. We didn't have that fire at the end of the game. And I don't know about you guys, but you brought up going for 2, Gage. Would you guys have gone for 2 against the Ravens last week?
Yes.
I absolutely would have. I was yelling for it.
That's what I was calling for, too. Gage?
I felt the desperation last week that the Vikings clearly felt this week. To me, this win against the Chargers doesn't do anything if you don't beat Green Bay.
That's fair.
And I forget the situation with Baltimore. How much time was left on the clock when we scored?
I could look it up, but it wasn't very much.
Yeah.
We were done score at the end of that game.
We were not going to get the ball back. There's that little amount of time.
I suppose. Yeah, and I just don't know if they have a 2-yard play that they know they're going to get every time.
What the fuck are you talking about? We have CJ Ham. That's all we know how to play.
Yeah, and they just ran on 4th and 2 and got it too. Just hand the ball to Cookie Monster.
It probably would have been that play we ran to Conklin for a touchdown yesterday, which didn't look pretty, but we ended up with a touchdown. So that would have been their 2-point conversion. Some play action to the tight end.
Those play fakes can only happen so many times, you know. You have to have Cook going off for that to work as well as it did.
Yeah.
I liked too yesterday though how they targeted Jefferson and Thielen often, and Jefferson more than Thielen, but they got the ball into their playmakers' hands. Okay, I have the Vikings. Sorry, Ghost Star.
The 3rd and 20 where we actually pushed it down the field.
Yeah,
there. That was what I wanted to see. It was not a 6-yard gain, punted and have the defense do it. We got 18 yards on 3rd and 20, and they went for it on 4th down. And had they not got it, I'd be singing a different tune right now, but they got it, and I fucking love it.
And we did go for it on 4th down, another fake punt that was called back because the refs weren't set and ready.
Yeah, one ref said that another ref was not ready.
So dumb.
Or something like, why is the whistle blowing? Why is the play clock running?
The Vikings scored a touchdown against Baltimore with 1 minute and 6 seconds left.
106. Yeah, that's the spot where I would like to see him go for it there.
Yeah. You know you're not
I know that the Baltimore's offensive play calling was going to be completely different had they been down, getting that ball back too. So
that is true. Could have
who
been a
knows
whole
how that last minute would have played out if they were down and they had to score. We saw Justin Tucker hit a 66-yarder for a win. So that dude's got a leg. Who knows? We might have lost in regulation had we gone for the 2-point conversion and got it.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather? I would rather score that 2 and put that pressure on them.
100% I would have, but
Yeah.
the two. I'm just saying 2-point conversion doesn't mean we would have won the game, even if we got it.
Yeah.
But especially with a special player like Lamar Jackson and Justin Tucker.
How about that defense too? With everyone knocked out, we had Smith out, Barr was out, Hunter, Michael Pierce. We had so many guys out or COVID or whatever, and we still stood up and held a really good offense down a little bit.
I think we should show a little respect to Cam Bynum. I think we got a steal in the draft with that kid.
I do too.
He's been playing awesome for the last 2 weeks.
He's getting after it.
Yeah.
Filling the Smith void a little bit.
And did you say Pete was out too? Because he's out.
He's been out for a while.
Yeah.
He's out for the year, isn't he? Or will he come back?
He went on to IR, so he's eligible to return here in a couple of weeks, I think.
I think next week he's eligible to return.
He went on early, didn't he? Like pretty much that same week he got hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry, who are we talking about?
Peterson. I think Peterson is eligible to come back here probably next week.
Yeah, P2 he can come back for the Green Bay game, and so can Harrison Smith. And it sounds like Harrison Smith will. It'd be awesome to get P2, Harry, and Michael Pierce back for this game.
Big.
This game is at US Bank Stadium. It's gonna be popping. Is it a Sunday night game?
It's a nooner.
It's a nooner?
Yeah. Yeah. And we got AJ Dillon's big old thighs coming at us live.
You're just lucky the screen isn't pointed down because somebody would be seeing your little man chub down.
He's just so excited. You're starting him, aren't you?
I'm so starting him. He's so big.
God, the excitement in your eyes is just makes me want to puke right now. You do realize it's a Packer player going against the Vikings.
And you do realize he's a fucking man's man. Did that dude?
Well, I don't doubt that. I've seen the picture of him in training camp, and it's very impressive. He's a absolutely impeccable physical specimen.
That catch he had last night where he's running up the sideline, he's just fucking stiff-armed everyone for 50 yards. He's huge. I like this guy a lot.
He's going to get
287.
AJ Dillon. We like.
He's the exact guy that gives the Vikings a lot of fluff too. So, yeah, if you listen to Gage's Fantasy 101, when I tell you not to play your studs against your favorite team, that was total bullshit. You always got to cover your odds.
You're the quickest to tell someone that they're a fair weather fan, Gage, and you're not a real fan, and you don't do this, but you're just playing all these people against the Vikings.
Okay, start.
A traitor.
Riddle me this. Okay, so if I play my fantasy players against my favorite team, right?
Yeah.
Either my team wins the game, my Vikings team wins, and my fantasy team does not do well, or my fantasy team does very well when my actual team loses.
But there's no credibility to your fantasy team doing well when there's a fucking Packers player on it in the first place. For you to be able to root for the Packers at all, even if it's just for your fantasy team to do well, when the Vikings do bad, bullshit.
Are you happy?
Yeah, but also...
I'm sorry, what?
Are you happy when your fantasy team wins?
Yes.
Not if the Packers are the reason they won. It's never
So
happened.
if
I guess I can speak to
you
that.
have a bad game, you're happy when your studs beat our team.
I mean,
Am I cutting out?
He's just saying right now he wants it both ways. If he starts AJ Dillon, he's going to be happy because his team won. No matter what, he's either going to be happy because his team won, or he's going to be happy because his fantasy team won. But this is the thing that you're missing, Gage, is AJ Dillon could have a good game and the Vikings could still roll, or vice versa. AJ Dillon could not do that much and the Vikings could still get smoked.
boys,
Like you could end up with the worst of both worlds.
I've got one piece of evidence to present to you.
Bring it.
Is it there yet?
Oh my
Loading.
God! Look at that.
Was this Pornhub?
My pants are just bye.
Look at this dude. Are you kidding me? This guy is gonna run.
Gage, why do you have an album pulled up? Why do you have an album pulled up on your phone called Late Night Snacks right now?
It's favorited for a reason. That dude.
Are you crying? He's just crying.
Here's joy.
I can't stand it. That dude is so fucking big. He's gonna run for a lot. We just got to bring some good offense and try to win, not play not to lose. He's a man.
I'm so annoyed right now with this segment.
State of the Packers, brought to you by Gage's Rage.
I'm just annoyed that we've spent this much time on a fucking backup running back. That's what he is. He's literally a backup. He's good, but he's fucking stacked. Of course he is. He's amazing.
Yeah, that run, that catch for 50 yards last night was nuts.
He's the quad father.
Without a doubt. You know where my heart's going to lie? I always want Minnesota to win, but I just want it to be really high scoring. Star.
If there's anybody with thick thighs out there, Gage has got him on his team.
That is true.
He went all in on Saquon Barkley.
That was not me.
I think Gage has probably been the most anti-Barkley guy of all fantasy people. You're not a big Barkley fan at all.
No, I wouldn't touch him with a 25-foot pole coming out of AJ Dillon's booty cheeks.
Yeah, you would. You would just simply touch it because it's coming out of AJ Dillon's booty cheeks.
Let me get a hold of that.
All right, boys. You ready for the Infinity Stones and Infinity Bones?
Hell yes, I am. Are we ready to go?
Dude, that's the only reason I showed up tonight.
Hey, all right, Section 109, let's start the wave! My bad.
You know that's the wrong button.
Wrong
I got
button.
to figure out how to read it, dummy. It's still the wrong button.
Shit.
But anyway, let's get things going with the quarterbacks going. Patrick Mahomes ended up with 5. You heard that right. 5 passing touchdowns, 406 yards in the air, ends with 36 points at the quarterback position.
Is that good?
I found out that's kind of good.
Oh, nice.
Moving on, another Kansas City Chief player, Darrell Williams, wins the Blue Stone for the Week 10 action. He also had 43 rushing yards, but it was his 9 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown in the air that got him up to 29.4 points. You can imagine if your quarterback has 5 touchdowns, there's going to be some other players involved in the Infinity Stones. Darrell Williams, your running back for Week 10. Stephon Diggs will win the wide receiver stone for this week. He didn't have a very good first half, but came alive in the second half, ended with 8 catches for 160 yards and a score, getting him 30 points total on the week. We also have CD Lamb, kind of the opposite of Stephon Diggs. This guy went off in the first, 3 plays for Dallas. He had 2 touchdowns pretty fucking quick. I was really nervous watching his projection score for the week. It just went up and up and up, and then it kind of leveled off. I think he got banged up with an arm contusion or something. Still wins the flex spot for Week 10 with 28.6 points in those 2 scores. Very good week for CeeDee Lamb. Hopefully he gets healthy. And the third Kansas City Chief of the week is Travis Kelce, winning the tight end stone. He did not score a touchdown, surprisingly enough, but he finishes with 8 catches for 119 yards, almost cracking 20 points total. And finally, the kicker defense Infinity Stone goes to the Dallas Cowboys defense. They put up and shut up. Stephon Diggs' little brother, Trayvon Diggs, got another pick. I think he's at 8 total for the year now, Star, if you know.
8?
Is that what he's at, Trayvon?
Oh, yes.
He adds 2 more with the rest of the team defense there. for 3 picks, a couple sacks, and then the blocked punt touchdown, was it?
They did have a block punt touchdown.
So according to our scoring, he got 14 points, which was a pretty stellar week for the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Very good.
Another team, Miami, also scored 14 points, but depending on your scoring, Dallas only gave up 3 points against, so there's probably some bonus points for that, and Miami gave up a few more. But honorable mention to Miami. Absolutely shutting up the Baltimore Ravens like the Vikings should have. Okay, let's move on to the Infinity Bones of the
Favorite segment.
So when you have the Dallas Cowboys going against Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan, the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, is going to be the first one to show up here. Yes, that says 117. That means he had 117 yards and 2 interceptions. And that's his stat line.
Do you guys think Matt Ryan is in a similar situation as Matt Stafford?
I think Stafford has more, and he's younger too, so he's got a little bit more left in the tank. Ryan could be successful somewhere else, but I don't know if he brings them from mediocrity to Super Bowl level.
They're both named Matt, so I'm going to say yes. So Matt Ryan finished with 0.6 points total. That's less than a point total.
How many times disappointed by Matthew?
I did not understand that, so we're going to move on. DK Metcalf is
Cutting out that bad?
Just a little bit there, Brandon. DK Metcalf was playing, and he was busy staring at how muscular A.J. Dillon is and missing all of his balls. He went 3 for 26 for 5.6 total points. Just amazed at how big and muscular A.J. Dillon is. Don't worry, DK, you're not the only one. I'm right there with your buddy. Our next D name, DJ Moore, with the Carolina Panthers, had 6.4 total points. He had 4 catches for 24 yards. I guess in Cam Newton's stellar game coming back, it wasn't good for everyone. I was busy watching Christian McCaffrey lead block for the backup quarterback, scoring a rushing touchdown. That was pretty stellar. Love to see that. Not. Fucking idiot. I'm back! Oh, he's so annoying. But the more annoying is tight ends that are in the top 5 for their position, scoring 0 points total. And not only do we have one of them, but we have 2 here. TJ Hawkinson and Mike Gesicki. And did you know that Mike Gesicki and TJ Hawkinson were both top 5 tight ends going into week 10?
I did not, but I knew that Mike Gesicki had like 10 targets and 0 points.
And TJ Hawkinson might have had a few, but they were coming from Jared Goffel, so they're not worth a damn.
Jared Awful.
Oh.
I would have put him on here, but we all just expect him to bone your team, and if you have him, you deserve to get fucked. So
the fact that he's now though dragging down Hawkinson and that entire offense is pretty sad.
Hey, he didn't lose.
That's true.
You can't call him a loser.
He plays.
You call him a winner.
150 yards.
Yeah, you'd say there's some stats that need to go up here, but no, there's no stats. They didn't score any points. Those 2 were scoreless on the week. I was just amazed by that.
It's a little sad that for the first year of a 17-game season, the Lions aren't going to be the first 0-17 team. They're going to be 0-16 and 0-1.
I mean, they don't have to do it the first year, do they?
It would have been pretty epic.
No one wanted to win that game.
No.
It was really sad watching it. Just turnover after turnover after turnover.
My dynasty team couldn't buy a fucking score in the first noon games. It was brutal. I had DeAndre Swift. He actually had 30 fucking carries. No touchdowns. Yeah. Deontay Johnson, another guy. I mean, who I talked about, Adam Thielen, Keenan. I still don't have a touchdown on my scoreboard here. Thank God for Justin Herbert. He finally scored in the afternoon, but at the end of the day, I'm going to get a W, and I'm going to score more points than Scott. So suck it.
That's what it's all about. If you can outscore Scott, you're fucking doing pretty good.
Way to set that bar low.
Yeah. What do you guys think was the most impressive game of yesterday? Or surprising, I should say. Was it that Washington Redskins game? Or, sorry, football team?
Speaking of, did you guys know that Washington scored to go up 10 at the end of the game? Were any of you watching it at this point or no?
Yeah. Red zone.
Okay, so then you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. Instead of them kicking the field goal to go up 11 or going for 2 to go up 12, their analytics person told Ron Rivera the best move at that point is to kneel the football. So they kneeled the football, stayed up 10, and gave the ball back to Tampa Bay on the kickoff. Their justification for it was if you get your extra point blocked and returned, it's now a 1-point game. And if you get your 2-point conversion, it's still only a 2-score game. So there's no reason for you to go for the 1 or the 2. Your best bet is to make sure they don't get a return for a safety and give them the football back down 2 scores.
And it definitely wasn't about the spread because they weren't favorited at all.
Right.
Still seems strange.
Very unique that they go for it on 4th and goal on the 1 yard, 2 yard line, and then they turn around and then kneel the point after attempt. That, like, the analytics on that is just nuts. They're doing circles, and I'm here for that kind of math. That's sweet.
Yeah, but what's even more impressive is Ron Rivera actually listened and did it. Like, it's one thing for your analytics guy to be like, well, coach, the numbers tell you to kneel for the first ever extra point or 2-point conversion in NFL history. Kneel.
You sound like Cartman trying to convince his mom to buy him something.
Don't do either. Just kneel the football. I'm sure this is exactly how the analytics guy sounded to Ron Rivera. And Ron Rivera was like, you know what? God damn it. We're going to kneel. Brandon looks so befuddled by that right now. He does not look like he was a fan of that.
I can't even tell if you guys can hear what I'm saying half the time because my internet bar keeps going from 1 to 2 to 3 to 1. So I don't really know what's going on here.
It's touch and go, that's for sure.
Give us a, can you hear me now?
Good.
How does he talk with his face stuck the same way the whole time?
But start to my I would say no, it wasn't that surprising because if you watched the playoff last year when Washington hosted Tampa Bay, Washington's kind of the kryptonite to little Tampa Bay there. I mean, they got a really stout defense. They can man up against their offense pretty well, and if they run into each other, if Tampa Bay can sneak in, they could have some issues with Washington again.
They did lose Chase Young for the year though, so that's bodes well for Tampa Bay.
They only have 106 first-round draft picks on the line behind them.
That's true.
They need 100.
They're in real trouble.
No, I would say the most surprising was the Vikings. I mean, I totally thought they were gonna run it with CJ Ham on 3rd and 3, and then they were gonna punt it and be cool with just a 3-point lead, and they didn't do that. It was crazy.
I do have another.
I would go with the garbage game between the Packers and the Hawks.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
The fact that the whole game was just garbage or what?
Yeah, I mean, I would expect them to be playing a little bit better. I mean, the Packers are supposed to be one of the best teams in the NFC. Seahawks have Russell Wilson coming back. I know he's hurt, but, they have DK. They have Tyler Lockett. They have Chris Carson. So they had weapons. But wasn't it 7-3? 2 late scores by A.J. Dillon?
Yeah, they were in the 4th for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a little surprised by that. And then if we go back to Thursday, I would say that Ravens-Dolphins game I was not expecting the Dolphins to pull that off.
true. There's
But
been
that-
more and more of them.
Awesome.
Even like the Patriots over the Browns in the fashion that they did it was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Just dismantled them.
That was a good one. Do we want to talk about the rest of the studs and duds of the week?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know about the duds per se, but for studly quarterbacks, we had Dak Prescott and Josh Allen. Really short list for quarterbacks because there was just a lot of crazy scores. I mean, you'll see here in a second, the running backs list is a lot larger. But Dak had 2 touchdowns, and they also rushed one in. Josh Allen had a couple scores, sneaking above 20 points. For the running backs, we have Ramondre Stevenson at the top of the list. Had 2 scores in the ground. AJ Dillon and those thighs we couldn't stop talking about earlier. He scored a couple late, and a 50-yard catch added quite a bit of scoring there. Christian McCaffrey, even though he was lead blocking for touchdowns, still got 10 catches for 66 yards. I think he ended with like 23 touches, so almost 100 yards on the ground. Jonathan Taylor was moving and grooving with 100 quick yards in the first half and a touchdown. Ernest Johnson for Cleveland came in without Nick Chubb and almost had 100 yards and a bunch of catches for 58 receiving yards. I chose to bench Antonio Gibson for Adam Thielen, who you're going to find out is not on the stud wide receiver list. Gibson
really?
Our stud running backs, though, against number 1 Tampa Bay defense, gets 2 fucking touchdowns.
Helped by that late score, though, at the end. Otherwise, it was a good game, not a great game. So,
Yeah.
we'll give a break there.
21 points total on the evening for Antonio Gibson. And then Minnesota's Dalvin Cook had 20 points. He dominated like always, almost 100 yards, a touchdown, bunch of catches. Pretty good performance by Dalvin Cook. And then Mark Ingram, who the fuck knew he was still playing, with New Orleans Saints absolutely decimated by injuries. Ingram comes in there and gets a few catches and a touchdown, so slips into 20-point range for the running backs. And Ezekiel Elliott rounds out that stud running back list. And then moving on to the receivers, we got Tyreek Hill, had the 2 touchdowns and a bunch of catches. Kendrick Bourne was one of those Patriot receivers that really had a game. He's kind of a sneaky good fantasy option as of late.
Been playing well the last handful of weeks here, especially since Mac Jones got it going.
And we have another Minnesota player, Justin Jefferson, had 9 catches for 143 yards. Big day for JJ. That big 3rd down catch, too, at the end of the game was sweet. And Devonta Smith rounds out the list with 2 touchdowns for Philadelphia.
When do the red zone targets start coming in plentiful for Justin Jefferson? He's got a red zone frame.
When Adam Thielen's gone.
You think that's when it'll be finally? It just seems so weird that you would use a receiver like Jefferson all the way down the field and then not use him in the red zone. But Thielen's very good in the red zone, so it's not like you're throwing to somebody that's worse than Jefferson.
Yeah, and they keep sliding the ball over to CJ Ham and fucking Tyler Conklin, too.
Yeah, you can throw to Jefferson in between the 20s, that's fine. But once you get in the red zone, you got to get the ball to your real playmakers.
Conk, baby.
Conklin's a surgeon's here. How nervous does that make Irv Smith next year? Since Conklin's been having a pretty – you don't think so? You don't think he's – this in the last 3-4 weeks might not affect Irv next year?
I think it bodes well for Irv. I think it bodes well for Irv Smith. Irv Smith is just an all-around more talented player than Conklin.
Did Stafford already throw a pick for LA?
Shut up.
Yeah, he's thrown 2 already.
Shut your mouths.
Did you at least cover your bases and get San Francisco's defense?
That's
No,
what I
the
did against.
Rams defense. I went all in on it.
He does have a pick.
He's
No, he
trying to
does
go to
not.
Odell.
Does he really?
He does.
Are you
He's going to
kidding me
bomb
right now?
Odell.
This is the Odell effect. Oh, Debo back in the backfield.
Oh man,
This is literally the worst.
you have to sweat the entire game.
And I will too. I'm already sweating. I got the meat sweats.
So-
I had a lot of
30
turkey.
points?
I smoked a turkey.
Hey, yeah, I was
yesterday.
going to
ate a
rip
lot of
on you
turkey.
for that. Do you not have turkey for Thanksgiving? Like, we're a week and a half out, and you're making a turkey?
No, he wants to be all turkeyed out. So then when he hosts a Friendsgiving, that doesn't have turkey, he doesn't feel like he's missing something.
What
I'm
about
sorry,
real
what were you saying
Thanksgiving?
to me?
This is like opening your Christmas presents in June.
It's like having Easter
Yeah,
eggs
yeah.
in June.
I don't even know what you
Like
said.
celebrating
I just
the
lost
new
connection
year
there
at
for a
the end of
while.
November.
Yeah. What are you doing? You know you're going to stuff your face with turkey in a week and a half.
Yeah, but that's not gonna be a smoked turkey. That'll be a made in the oven turkey, and it'll be a lot different.
This is like masturbating before you have sex.
Don't deny it till you've tried it.
Are you saying like in general or like right before?
Like right before.
Okay, never mind.
Usually
Probably
by that
won't
time,
do
I'm
that.
just not interested anymore.
Do you think you make a better turkey than whoever hosts your Thanksgiving, Scott?
No,
You're
because it's
setting them
about
up.
me and my wife, and it's gonna be my wife making the turkey, and I absolutely don't make a better one than her.
You guys
Scott's
are hosting
wife is watching. Hi.
She's on the other side of the door. With a
No,
knife.
she makes killer turkeys. Actually, yeah, we're hosting it. We're having my family and her family over. Not all of her family, but her mom and dad.
I wasn't
Nice.
invited. I'm pretty much part of the family now. Well, thanks.
Yeah, you basically are. Isn't that a weird dynamic to think about?
Taking family business over.
Yeah. Alyssa's dad is my current boss at the moment.
That's so weird to think about.
Scott, didn't you say you were going to try and roast me or something?
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be for the next episode. I'm not roasting you. It's just a question for you. It's not like trying to put you on the spot or anything like that.
Okay.
I mean, I
Well,
could
that's
ask it
fine.
on this if you want me
Man.
to, but it's not related to football at all.
No, we can keep talking about how my fantasy team just gets better and better the closer we get to playoffs.
You know, I think I'd rather probably just jump over and do the bit. That sounds like a pretty good move right now.
And that sums about up this episode. Gage's Rage lost in the yearly league by over 10 points. Brandon made a comeback. Lamar might get his first win all season, maybe, considering.
And Matthew Stafford has thrown an interception on.
You're frozen. Go
It's
jerk off.
Frozen.
Why? He's so pissed he's frozen.
What do you? I thought it was me at first. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
He's
Come
coming
back.